Hey yarn friends, welcome back to LlamaMamaKayla's Yarn Tube. So this morning I'm just enjoying a slow morning, crocheting some scrap balls into my scrappy rectangle blanket. I ended up not working on it last night because I was just tired and give out. So I ended up laying in the bed watching my tablet, and then dozed off and fell asleep, and then this morning I woke up at 4 a.m. It was raining so hard that it woke me up, and I couldn't go back to sleep. I had a lot on my mind, and as you can imagine, and so I just never could go back to sleep. So about 5, I decided to go ahead and get up, and now it's 6:45, and Elijah has left for work. He had to be at work at 7, and Jody has to be at work at 7, so he just left. So I was going to just settle in here and work on my scrap blanket for a while. So I thought I would just, for Vlogmas today, on the last day of December, that I would just have a crochet and chat and work on this. So if you have a project you can grab and work on, grab it and work on it. And I'm just going to chat probably about what's on my mind, what's on my heart. As you all know, that it's my health stuff, so I hope you don't mind that at all. And I'm drinking white chocolate coffee. I got this at Ollie's. They had a variety box, and I think it was like Christmas, their Christmas flavors or Christmas box or whatever. And so, hey Django, no barky. And so, I knew they wouldn't have those very long, so I grabbed a box of that the other day. And so far, I've had the white chocolate and the sweet vanilla, and they are both very good. And I did stir it with a peppermint spoon. And then I dropped the peppermint spoon in it to melt. So it does taste really good. I want to start trying different teas. This is coffee, but I want to start trying different flavors of teas. And I mean, because, for one thing, I've lost food. And, sometimes I can drink liquids. There are times I can't get liquids down, not even water. But when I can, I would like to maybe try different teas or coffees and such. Just, just to give myself something to look forward to, I guess. I don't know. Because I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be very, very brutally honest. Very open, and just open myself up and tell y'all. I mean, really, when I went to bed last night, I laid there and just cried because I'm hungry. I know. I mean, this fat girl's hungry, okay? And Jody was like, "Well, did you drink your shakes?" Talking about these, meal replacements. I have this in vanilla and chocolate. They didn't have the caramel. I did buy the caramel one time, and it was really good, but they don't have it in a bigger pack. They only have the caramel in a smaller pack, and it's way more expensive. And it only comes in Ensure, I think, instead of this Equate. And it was like, I don't know, I want to say $9 for like 4 or 6 of them. I don't know. Not $10 maybe for 6. Something like that. But these are much cheaper. So, I mean, and on top of me having to buy these, I mean, we still have to buy groceries for the family, and just taking my portion out of the meal is not making grocery budget go down, because, you still got to cook the full meal. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, well, I'm gonna, I don't know, you know what I'm saying. So I'm trying, to drink these, be affordable and frugal. I always try to be frugal with our money. Because, you know, Jody works hard for our money and I want to be frugal with it. So I did get, so this last time when we went and bought the other day, I did get chocolate and vanilla of these. And so what I was saying is, these are 190 calories. And they don't taste bad. I mean, they taste pretty good. But anyway, it's only 10 grams of protein, you know, and it is high in sugar and carbohydrates, which that's all I'm getting is sugar and carbohydrates. But anyway, so what I was saying is, you know, I'm hungry. And then Jody says, Big Daddy, that's Jody. Jody says, well, did you drink your meal or your shake? That's what he calls it. Did you drink your shake? I'm like, yes, but seriously, it's not the same. It is not the same. So anyway, so I got up this morning and took my meds, and they was able to change a lot of my meds up to liquid. The only ones I have in pill form are the tiny ones. And if I have trouble with those, I could crush them. So, and then in the future, once I get the feeding tube, I could crush them and put them through my feeding tube. As long as it doesn't block the feeding tube. But anyway, I don't know. So I thought maybe I would just try different coffees and teas for different taste of things, you know, to have something to look forward to, I guess. I don't know. I am a little, have a little anxiety about getting the feeding tube. I am familiar with the feeding tube. Elijah had a feeding tube for 16 years. He had a Mickey button. So I am familiar with that, and feeding pumps and tubes and extension tubes and flushing and all that kind of stuff. I'm familiar with it. I just don't want to do it, you know? I just don't want to do it. Django, what you barking at, boy? Django, no barking. That's Elijah's little dog, Django. Django, he's probably like looking for Elijah. He's probably wondering why Elijah don't come back and get him. So, anyway, I kind of expect to hear from the GI doctor this next week. I didn't expect to hear from him the week between Christmas and New Year's. So, it'll be this next week. I'll probably hear from them and get an appointment. And basically, I'm going to him to get set up to see, you know, to have a GI doctor. Because but I'm going to have the feeding tube put in here in town if possible, and not have it done in Shreveport, because I don't want to have it done over there and then have to ride in the truck all the way home from Shreveport and be uncomfortable and all that. So I'd rather have it done here. But, so once I get set up with the GI doctor and talk with him and hear options and stuff like that, and I am going to choose the feeding tube instead of the removing my esophagus, which I can't even fathom. But anyway, I'm going to choose the feeding tube. It's the easier of the two, health-wise, because honestly, with my health, and the last time I did have a scope, my oxygen dropped and they had to end the scope immediately. This was in September. I believe it was September. They had to end the scope immediately and pull out and bring me, you know, get my oxygen back up. So, a feeding tube would just be shorter procedure, and not so invasive and not such a healing afterwards. And I take a ton of immune suppressants. Like, I'm on mega doses of immune suppressants in different forms. So that affects your healing and stuff like that. And I really can't be off the immune suppressants because my body would just flare up and I'll have all kinds of issues. So, saying all that to say, I know, it might seem like it's taken a while to get this set up, but I mean, it is a process, and because of insurance, things have to be done a certain way. You have to have referrals and approvals from, different doctors and codes put in and all this kind of stuff. So it does, you have to be understanding that it does take a little while to do things like that. I think this is cotton that I'm adding in now that I think about it. I don't know. No, I just felt of it. It felt like cotton. But anyway, so I have all that on my mind and just couldn't go back to sleep today. So, the rest of the day, I'm going to just probably watch some movies, watch some YouTube videos, catch up on any Vlogmas videos that I've missed. And I might actually just lay in the bed and watch on my tablet. And then, and that's about all. Jody's off tomorrow, but we don't have any plans to do anything. Now I'm going to add in another color, and just for funsies, I'm going to add in black. Because I have this little black ball. Jenga, stop, baby. Elijah doesn't normally go in this early, and so Django's probably thinking Elijah's in his room, and Django's stuck in here. That's probably what he thinks. So this is the way I'm tying in my yarns, because it is a scrappy blanket. I'm not weaving in any ends. I'm not getting all fancy with it. It's scrappy. And I'm keeping it scrappy. So anyway, guys, let me know in the comments how you're celebrating the 1st of the year for January the 1st or New Year's Eve. We, like I said, we aren't doing anything, just hanging out. Probably just watch movies or whatever tonight. No plans for tomorrow. Jody's off, but he probably just needs to rest too. And that's about all, really, that we'll be doing. I can't think of anything else. Both the boys will be working. They was just off Tuesday and Wednesday. So they'll work the holidays. That coffee is so good. I dropped that peppermint stick down in it. It was a peppermint spoon. I stirred it with it for a little while. And then I dropped it down in there and just let it melt. And that tastes so good. Yeah, I had my iron infusion yesterday. And I'll go back and have another one on Wednesday. But, bringing up your iron, that's not an overnight fix. Excuse me. It is not an overnight fix. It is a slow recovery type thing on that to say. I mean, it takes a while to build that iron back up. it can take months. So, getting this iron infusion this week, it'll start, building that back up some, and then getting one next week. I'll probably have to get 2 to 3. I hope I don't have to get more than that, but, and it takes, several months, 3 to 6 months really, to build that iron back up. Once it drops so low like that, mine was very low. So that explains why I feel horrible. I mean, I feel horrible all the time, but I knew that I felt even worse than normal. And your low iron, that affects like a whole lot of stuff in your body. Just mentally, physically, emotionally. It affects everything. So I tried to find a feeding tube support group on Facebook, but I didn't find one that was just for adults. Most of them are for children. Well, all of them were for children. I was just looking on my phone, so I'll have to look again on my computer and try to find one that's just for adults. I mean, adults might have different issues than children. I mean, they're going to have some of the same issues, but, basically on the children, it's the parents, online asking, what do I do for this, or how do I do this, which can be helpful in some points too, but I would like to just talk to other adults that's actually experiencing it themselves, and can tell me from another tubie's view of what's going on and, how they've handled things and such. So anyway, so I'm trying to find a support group for that. And then it hit me when Elijah was tube fed, all the supplies. Oh my gosh, so many feeding tube supplies every month. The shipment would come, and it's just overwhelming. And then you got to have a place to put all these supplies. And so that kind of hit me, the anxiety of that. And also, we have Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, and it never would cover Elijah's formula. And his formula was very, very expensive. The doctor had nicknamed it liquid gold because it was so expensive. And Blue Cross Blue Shield did not want to cover it. And so I would fight with them, the doctors would fight with them, we'd go around and around, and they would cover it for a couple months and then drop it. And they would not cover it consistently. And so it was like a very big ordeal, and the formula for tube feeding is not cheap by any means. It is not cheap. It's very expensive. So I have that weighing on my mind too. The way I am, I hate to put a financial burden on Jody. I don't want to add stress to him. So that's always in the back of my mind. And I know I probably shouldn't, worry about that so much, but it is something in the back of my mind, because I know I just don't want to put the, financial stress on him. Since he is I'm going to add this purple. I'd sent Terry a ball of this purple. So I'm just going to tie that in and add it. I'm loving the way this blanket looks. I know I'm just all over the place, aren't I? But honestly, my mind is all over the place. I really can't even, I can't even have complete thoughts, honestly, right now, because I feel really, really bad. I feel weak. My arms are so weak. I mean, I can't lift my arms and do anything. Like for this, my arms are laying on the table here, my desk, and so I'm not, having to hold my arms up. But to do anything, my arms are just weak. Like yesterday's video, I held my blanket up to show it, and my arms were shaking. They were so weak. It was really, it was really like, wow, my arms are so weak. And so I just feel really, really bad and run down, because of the low iron and all. But also, I'm not getting nutrition. And so I feel bad from that too, because honestly, I'm hungry. So anyway, I know I'm rambling, I'm all over the place, but I just have a lot going on. And I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate y'all listening to me. I appreciate y'all's comments. I appreciate your prayers, your thoughts. It's just nice to have somebody to vent to and talk to and just be honest with. Honestly, I shared a lot of these thoughts with Jody because I know he's already worried, and he's probably got a lot of the same stuff on his mind too, such as, the formula and just the expenses of, going through all this and having more doctor visits and everything. He's probably got that on his mind too. I mean, he hasn't said it, and I hadn't said it either, but we're probably thinking the same things. And so I just don't want to add anything to him that I don't have to. So anyway, so I do appreciate you guys. I appreciate having y'all as friends and to just be able to talk with y'all. And to be honest with you guys, and just tell you what's on my mind. I appreciate your comments. Of course, I can't reply back to every comment. Excuse me, or I would never have time to do anything else. But I do read them. And I just appreciate, I am about a little bit behind on reading some of them. Because I just haven't had time to sit down and read a few. But, just with everything going on and needing to sleep some and, but I'll get there. Yesterday when I went to get my iron infusion, I took some crochet with me. And so I started, got my thing out and I started crocheting. And so the nurses, were like, "Are you knitting?" And I said, "Well, this is crochet." And they asked what was the difference between crochet and knitting. And I told them, well, knitting is with 2 needles, or you can loom knit. And then crochet is with this hook. And so, they was asking how long I've been crocheting and all that. I said, well, October was a year that I've been crocheting. I don't know why nobody ever really believes that, or they find that unbelievable or something. I don't know. But I've really only been crocheting since October. And so actually, I might be teaching Dakota to crochet soon because he found a blanket he wants me to make, which I would love to make it for him, but I think he can make it himself. So I think I'm going to be teaching him to crochet pretty soon. So we'll probably be making some videos on that. That'll be fun. Jody come in here a while ago as he was supposed to leave for work. He said, "You better start crocheting up some of that yarn I got you for Christmas." Actually, I haven't even put that into my yarn room yet. It's still sitting in the dining table. I mean, in the dining room. In the dining room over in the corner, we have this leg table. It's a pair of mannequin legs. And Dakota had took a round piece of wood and put it on top and made a tabletop. We used to carry it around with us when we would do art shows at we'd have art crawls, and we would participate in the art shows and stuff and art galleries and all, and we used to take that table with us as part of our display to hold our cards and stuff like that. But anyway, it's in our dining room, and so somebody took my big anniversary cakes that Jody gave me and put on top of it, all 6 of them. So I've got to get those somehow or another incorporated into my yarn room. I don't know, I need my yarn room cleaned up very badly. My yarn room and my bedroom, I need organized. In the back of my bedroom, I have some big silver shelves, and I'll have a lot of my craft stuff back there, and also some yarn. And so I need all that organized, just cleaned up, straightened up, and put better organized, because right now it's not organized because the boys just kind of threw it back there. And so you can imagine. But anyway, I'm too weak to do it. My arms can't give out. I can't stand there to do it either, so I don't know what I'm going to do. I wish that there was this little yarn fairy that flew around to all of our homes and organized our yarn for us. No, but my yarn room is a total mess. I want to get it organized better because I have unfinished projects that I want to start busting out for, this next month. Instead of starting so many new projects. Okay, insert mechanical laugh right there. We can all just take a moment and laugh. Instead of starting so many new projects, I want to work on some of my whelps and get some of those busted out. Okay, are y'all still laughing? I am. But, oh goodness. But anyway, I'm just too weak and I feel too bad to even try. To organize my yarn room right now. I don't know if I ever even will. But the bad part about it is my yarn room is the very first room of our house. It's the parlor. And I've taken it over as my yarn room. And so that's the bad part about it. I don't like that. Jody probably don't either, but he don't say anything. He doesn't complain about anything, so I'm lucky in that part. He picks at me about it. He will pick at me about all my yarn. Yesterday, he looked at my yarn cabinet and he said something about you're going to keep stuffing this until it falls over on you and crushes you or something like that. Oh, he's a good man. I love him with all my heart. I don't know what I would do without him. He is my rock. But I tell you what, if he says, when I try to eat something, and he says, take small bites and chew it up really good, if he says that one more time, I'm going to end up in jail. Like, I hate it when he says that because, I mean, I'm not a 1-year-old. I'm 49 years old, fixing to be 50. I know to chew my food up. I know to take small bites. And I don't need somebody telling me that. I have lost some weight. I've lost 15 pounds now. I lost 12 when I went to the doctor on Monday. And then when I went back yesterday on Wednesday, I had lost 3 more pounds. So that's 15 pounds. And I told my doctor, I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. Jody don't like skinny women. And he just laughed. He knows I'm crazy. I always tell him funny stuff, and he never knows how to take me. But sometimes he'll have like a student doctor with him, and then I always pull something on them. One time, he had started me on this new medication, Cellcept, which is an immune suppressant. And it helped me greatly. Like, I had an appointment with him. He put me on it. And I probably had like a follow-up appointment, like probably about 3 weeks later. Because that's his thing, 3 weeks. And so I went in for that appointment. And a student doctor came in before him to talk with me and stuff. And then she went out, took notes and stuff. And then she went out and briefed him. And then they came in together. So I had told her the medication, helped me tremendously, that it was like a game changer. And so she had went and told him, when he got to my room, he flung that door open and he said, I hear the medication was a success. And I said, yes. And he said, well, I guess the side effect is it turned your hair purple. Because I had purple hair. And I said, yeah, but I guess I can live with that side effect. Well, the student doctor, bless her little heart, she got her phone out and started like punching in stuff. And I wondered what she was doing. And she was a foreigner. She was not from here. And I don't know exactly where or what nationality she is. I wouldn't even want to guess, but she was very sweet. Bless her heart. She was punching in on her phone, and then she said something about she doesn't see that listed as a side effect. And me and my doctor just looked at each other and smiled, a little smirk. And then after the appointment, he said, okay, well, just continue on that medication. And, if you have any problems with it, let me know. And she said, I hope that the purple hair doesn't bother you. Oh, it was really funny. Me and my doctor was just looking at each other. That was hilarious. And at one time I was getting blood drawn, and my blood's thick, and it was like a very slow flow, and she was having trouble. She was having to hold it just a certain way to even get the blood to flow. And so this was a phlebotomist, and so while she was doing that, she's just standing there forever. And so then she says, oh, what happened to your fingers? And I said, well, I was kidnapped, and they had to cut off 5 fingers before my husband would pay the ransom. And she just looked like she bulged her eyes out really big. She didn't quite know what to say about that. It was very funny. I always tell people weird stuff because people always ask, what happened to your fingers? And I don't mind people asking because they're just curious, and I don't mind telling people. But just to say, every time, I have Raynaud's and scleroderma, took my fingers, just to, keep from saying that every time. Sometimes I make up little, scenarios that could have happened. Like I said, well, they don't let me use the blender anymore, or stuff like that, One time I had purple hair, and Jody and I had went to Books A Million. This was after I had my first finger cut off. It was this finger right here. It still had the stitches and just, kind of looked gross at the time because it hadn't healed yet. And so we went, Jody and I was in Books A Million. I was checking out. And the cashier was like, oh, cool. Did you dye your hair purple for Halloween? I said, no, I cut off a finger for Halloween. Oh, people never know what to say when I say things like that. They're just like, what? I don't think I told you all about my yarn bowl. This is this unicorn yarn bowl. I got this from 3 a.m. Grace Designs. At one time they had a bundle like on sale for like $20, and you got 4 or 5 patterns plus this. And so I got it, but I did knock it off my desk accidentally, and so I don't know if you can see, there is a crack right here. So I do try to be careful with it. It's not cracked on the... Well, yeah, it is. I was going to say it's not. When I looked before, I didn't see it, but I can see it now in this light. So it is cracked on the inside. I don't know. I wonder if maybe I could get Elijah to take some kind of epoxy glue or something and just coat that crack on the inside. I wonder if that would keep it, make it a little sturdier and improve it a little bit so it doesn't break, because it's such a cute yarn bowl. I love it, and I use it all the time. But sometimes when I crochet, like in the back of the house, back in the den, or even in the living room or a bedroom or something, I don't carry this around with me because I don't want it to get broke. So I have to make do with other things. So I kind of need to get a yarn bowl that maybe isn't. So anyway, guys, I'm still rambling. I know y'all probably like done turned me off by now. I don't even know. The phone did cut off. I don't even know where it cut off what I was saying. But I am going to get off here and let you guys go on and get on with your day. And I'm going to just continue crocheting a little while here on this. Putting in some colors. But this is the last day of Vlogmas. But I do have, I'll have videos coming out in January. So check back with me. And I was going to say this earlier, and my mind lost train of thought. But I'm thinking about doing some videos about my health issues. I know that I do have a lot of subscribers that have lupus, and some that have Raynaud's, and some of the same conditions that I have. They may not have all the conditions that I have all at one time, but they, might be dealing with the different issues that I have. So I was thinking about doing some health videos, not really like health updates, but health information about scleroderma, or about Raynaud's or about lupus, and you know how I deal, which is not always the best, you know, but I just do the best that I can. Mainly to be like some encouragement type videos. So I hope that's okay with all my yarny friends. If, you know, you don't have health issues and you don't want to watch that, then just, you know, I guess just don't click on it. But I did want to run that by y'all and see that, you know, would that be a game changer for any of y'all, that if I did do some videos every now and then in between yarny stuff. And also, you know, I'm going to be starting the tube feeding, and so I kind of searched on YouTube for some YouTube feeding tube videos for adults and stuff, and there's not really there's not much out there of people just like showing how they're doing it, talking about it, you know, talking about the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, just being honest. And somebody who's new to tube feeding, you know, might just need to see, you know, like, oh, okay, all right, let me try that, you know. Not that I've got answers. I don't. That's why I was looking to see if there were any videos on it. And there wasn't. So, you know, just a thought that might be happening. And if it does, if you don't want to tune in, then, you know, by all means, don't. But I mean, I do appreciate y'all watching. I appreciate y'all letting the comments play. I mean, not the comments, the ads play. Because that helps me. And it would help me with finances and budgets and stuff like that for medical issues and all. If y'all did let the ads play. I know sometimes they can be annoying. But I did want to mention that, you know, that would be beneficial to me and to my health expenses, if you don't mind. But I appreciate you guys, and I am going to go ahead and get off here. I said that a few minutes ago and start talking again. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here and get some stuff done. And I will see you all again in 2021. Can you believe it? Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. I really do appreciate y'all. Thanks, and I'll see you again soon.